Yeah. So Tom, good to have you, dude. We do pretty loose. We're just kind of like gonna hang out, chop it up. Appreciate you coming through. Is this your first time in Boston?
Yes, first time in
It
Boston.
is. Oh, sweet, man.
Yeah.
What do you think of the city?
I think it's great. Looks like a nice place to live in.
Yeah.
As well.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
So first time in Boston.
Yeah.
Did you guys do any tourist stuff, or just like all business?
Pretty much all business because we only came into town yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
And we had a little walk. We were walking from the train station to get some ramen, and then from the ramen place to the hotel. And the hotel is right next to Fenway.
Okay.
Where the screening was.
Well, that's all you need to see.
Yeah.
That's
Wrong.
really the.
Seen it all.
That's wrong.
You've seen
Eric's
it
a
all.
big baseball guy.
You had to have seen the greatest ballpark on earth.
Yeah.
So once you've seen that, you've indulged in the Boston culture.
It's the oldest, most. I won't crush your soul. It's a fun ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Tear down?
Yeah.
Tear it down?
Yeah. And
The
rebuild
the house that Mark Bellhorn built, dude.
Yeah. Tear it down and rebuild it.
All right.
You wouldn't do that?
No. Are you kidding me? The history?
So what would you do?
Bambino's going to come back and curse us again. Babe Ruth cursed our team for 86 years.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, you probably didn't hear over in Europe.
No,
Babe Ruth.
It's one of the few baseball players that I.
Okay, so if being from Austria, as the legend goes, when the Red Sox traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees, he then said that the Boston Red Sox will never win a World Series title ever again. And it was the curse of the Bambino. And so for 86 years, the Red Sox never won a World Series.
Oh, wow.
Until 2004. And that's when the curse was broken. And Eric's crazy idea of tearing down the ballpark would just bring the curse back.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to bring it back.
No.
So the ballpark coming down is going to curse it? Dude, that just, no.
Teddy Ballgame won't be happy.
So,
I don't know. Let's move on.
It's a cool ballpark. It's by today's arenas, ballpark standards. It's very old. So it's small. There's only like 36,000 people that can fit in there. It's a lot of the way the seats are, they're tight. They don't like look at the field. Like if the field's over here, like the seat is this way, so you're kind of like doing that, you know? It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird for a professional stadium. It's pretty bizarre.
Are you a sports fan?
Yeah.
What do you what's the main sport over in
The main
Austria?
sport in Austria would be ski racing, I think.
Okay.
They try to play some soccer as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, just normal things. No baseball.
No. We're really the only country that sits through boring ass 9-inning baseball games.
I mean, it's pretty boring.
I love it.
I'm a big soccer fan myself. I watch a lot of European football.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up playing it. I just enjoy the spectacle of European football in the sense of like what a lot of Americans don't understand is how many games there are, how many cups there are, how many teams there are.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's super fun. I like the idea of promotion and relegation. I think that's awesome. Like, you win, you go to the next division, you lose, you go down to the other division. Where like here in America, it's just like a billionaires boys club for all the guys that own teams.
Yeah.
You lose, you get the best draft pick the next year. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But soccer seems to be on the rise.
It's on the rise. Now we have Leo Messi. Leo Messi's at Inter
Messi.
Miami.
Yeah.
So it was funny because we were just talking about this a couple days ago with my buddy who has season tickets to the Patriots. So the New England Patriots is a football team, and then the owners of the Patriots also own the New England Revolution, which is an MLS team, soccer team. So they're putting it on next year for sale for the Miami game. So they play in the same stadium. It's about 67,000. It's huge, right? For the New England Patriots, they fill it every time. MLS, the Revolution, they average about 29,000, which is pretty good. But 29,000 people inside of a 67,000 person stadium feels like empty, right?
It looks empty.
So, but what the ownership is doing, which is pretty clever, being on the rise, if you want tickets to next year's Inter Miami game versus the Revs, you have to buy a 5-pack of Revs tickets.
Oh.
So you have to buy 5 games in order to get your one ticket to go see Messi.
That doesn't mean that people are going to go, though. They're
still
gonna be
gonna,
like,
they're
well,
still
I
gonna
have
sell.
5 unused tickets.
Right,
now.
but they're still gonna
Yeah,
how
true.
crazy is that?
You sell them.
So if you have a season ticket and you want to see Messi for that game, probably I'm talking about Patriot season ticket holders, you have to buy a 5-pack of Revs games.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That'll be good for. I mean, I bet
be
that
great.
will help grow excitement around the Revolution,
having-
kind of forcing it. But
I mean, the fact that that guy, I mean, obviously he's one of the best ever, but the fact that he comes to a new country, on a lower tier, obviously, of a league compared to Europe, but he's just filling out arenas at every city he goes, like every single night. I mean, it's so good for soccer in America leading up to the World Cup, which we're hosting.
Oh yeah.
So it's like just a wave of excitement for soccer. And then the next World Cup is here, which is pretty rad. It's super sick.
this is a soccer podcast,
super
by
sick.
the way.
I would love to have a soccer podcast. I could talk soccer all day. So you're staying next to Fenway. That's cool. Are you guys here for this? And are you boogieing on a to go to a different city for the movie, or are you sticking around here for another night?
No, that was the last stop for the movie.
Last stop. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought it was the first.
No,
Oh,
last one.
got
I
it.
think the other years they started.
In years past, it
Boston,
was the
yeah.
okay. All right.
But then this year it's different. So this is the last stop on the tour, and we fly out the day after. No, tomorrow.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so you have another night here.
We're not sure.
Oh.
We might, because we have to fly out of New York
Oh,
because it was I don't know, the only flights that we could get.
got it.
And yeah, so we have to go back there probably by train maybe.
Okay.
How do you
Yeah.
usually go?
Yeah, no, that's the best.
Train's the best way to
Yeah,
do it.
train's the best. Walk to South Station and then take that train.
It's kind of unbelievable how easy the train makes it to get
It's
to New
super
York
easy.
City.
It's really easy. It feels pretty fast too, and they drop you right out in Penn Station, and you're like right in the middle of the city. Have you? Did you walk around New York when you got here? Did you fly through? Because I'm assuming you flew through New York, right?
Yeah. And we spent a couple days there, did the shows, walked around a lot.
Yeah, it's a huge city, right? It's a huge city. Like I lived here for like almost 12, 13 years in Boston, and so it's a lot of time to live inside of like a city center. And like even when I go to New York City to visit, I'm like, oh, I don't live in a city.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not even
Boston is
close.
not a city.
Yeah.
Like you walk around New York, you're like we're in it now. Like this
Yeah.
is a fucking city, dude. This is
Mhm.
wild. It's overwhelming.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy how you realize how small Boston is when you go to other cities.
100%.
But,
100%.
dude, I'm
Seems
pretty.
quiet.
What'd you say?
Seems quiet, more quiet. than
Boston's
Boston.
definitely a little quiet. It's definitely like
Relaxed.
a early city. It
Mhm.
doesn't really party that late or anything like that.
It's also really
A little bit
condensed.
sleepy.
I mean, it's kind of there's some stretched parts to it, but the reality is like the meat of like the tourism and like the meat of like where people really want to be is not that it's not that vast. You can walk from the north end all the way to Fenway, and that would be a quote unquote long walk, and in New York City, that's like you're not even like going to different boroughs. You know what I mean? And like here, Fenway to North Station is like that's the capacity of like what a tourist would want to do. You know, so there's that, and then what's cool about Boston prior. Well, now it just looks that way, but like the big central artery, like the Greenway, if you guys have walked on that yet. So that used to be the highway. So it's called the Big Dig. So they basically put the highway underground, and then they turned where the highway was, like where the main artery of the interstate was, into like a park. So it's like super walkable. So you walk where the old highway was, which makes the city feel really, really nice. Yeah.
What's the go-to ski resort for people that live in Boston?
So your closest one, well, you have some places like really, really small, like Blue Hills, Neshoba. But people in Boston
Those are in Massachusetts.
yeah.
But most of the skiing around here, like the most popular places are going to be in New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine,
It's like Stowe,
upstate New
Killington,
York,
Stratton.
Stratton.
Yep. But there are a couple small hills in Massachusetts, and those are kind of sick to go to, just because like it just shows a lot of passion for the sport that people are getting out there on these little hills. But
you grew up from when Matt said you were going to be on the podcast. I did like a couple Google searches, and I was like, oh shit, like so you grew up next to Keysteinhorn, right?
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to go there last year.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, dude, sick.
What?
Yeah. Last June, because we went out to Mittersill.
Oh, what? I was born in Mittersill.
Awesome, dude. Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
we went out to Mittersill last June, and we went to the Nordica Blizz factory.
Yeah.
So we did like the whole factory tour. They gave us the whole show. It was awesome. And then it was in June, so there was still some snow. So we took got a van and went over to Keystone Horn and went up to the top and
That's
skied from like 8 a.m. to like noon.
Wow.
It was sick, man. It was super sick.
Nice.
It was really weird too because it was hot. Like when we were booting up, I'm like, dude, there's no way. It was like early in the morning. It was already like 72 Fahrenheit.
Nice.
And I'm like, there's not snow up there. And sure shit, man. Like you go high enough.
Yeah.
And those first like 8 to 10 was actually pretty rad. And then like 10 to like 11:30, it got pretty soupy. It got pretty soupy.
Yeah. Happens.
It's it was really cool. You know what's funny about when we first opened Ski Monster in 2014, we had like a ton of people because students from Boston. So we have like a ton of kids from like the Middle East and Asia. And people would come in and say, do you want to rent? And I'd be like, I'm sorry. They would come in and say that they want to rent. And I'm like, okay, like skis? They're like, no, that we want to rent like jackets and helmets and goggles and pants. And at first I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't rent clothing. And then at Keystone Horn, literally, I'm walking out and there's like a bunch of Saudi Arabians and they're all renting jackets like for the day.
For sure.
And I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, this checks out. They come to Austria on holiday and they rent a jacket and pants. They go up like one time and then they just bring the clothing back and that's it.
Kind of makes sense.
It does. Yeah. But here you'd never, I'm like, why would you rent a jacket? Like, that's so silly, you know? And then seeing it there, you're like, wow, it's pretty rad. So what was that like growing up there, man? That must have been pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a really nice place, and I feel super lucky that I got to grow up right there. And because you're in the middle of mountains, there's so many lifts and resorts around, and skiing is just such a normal thing to do, you know. So, yeah, I feel super fortunate for that. And yeah, can't wait to go back home and see what it's like, because it's supposed to be snowing right now.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
You'll be able to ski this time of year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of days in.
Nice.
And how long have you been on the road?
On this trip,
Yeah.
only for 6 days.
Okay. That's not too bad.
Yeah, sounds pretty action-packed, though. You were
Yeah.
bouncing around out in Jackson.
When I went to Jackson, that was earlier.
Oh, last trip?
Yeah. The
Okay,
last
so
trip
this
was
is just
in
kind of East
September.
Coast.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Sorry, I was confused.
Because I did the Jackson one, and then Salt Lake, and then Dillon. Got to spend a couple weeks in the US, which was really nice.
Nice.
And yeah.
So you did one trip out west, one trip on the east.
Yeah.
Nice. Go back to Europe in between.
Yeah.
Sick, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm just like thinking about that trip last year because it was so sweet and bounced back and forth. Another really, how many people ride bikes everywhere? Like in Middersill and like that area, like up and down, like all the e-bike culture is kind of wild.
Yeah, it's wild. And we also have bike paths everywhere. So anywhere you want to go, you can go by bike, which is really nice.
We rented e-bikes from our hotel that we were staying at. I think it's called like the Sport House.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about? What hotel I'm talking about?
Maybe.
I gotta look it up. I gotta. It's right in Middersill. It's like right next to the factory. This is gonna drive me crazy. I need to know. Sport Hotel.
Sporthotel.
Sport Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Sporthotel Kogler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Place is sick.
Yeah.
There's like a huge indoor pool inside and everything. Yeah. Place is
they
awesome.
got the gym and everything.
Yeah. So we rented e-bikes from there and like did like a little like jaunt around. And what was like insane to me from being from the US is like you enter in, I'm gonna mess up the names, of course, but it's basically like a national park or whatever, right? You're driving through this gorgeous, picturesque like park, dirt road on an e-bike. There's people's homes, there's waterfalls. Like it looks like you're literally in a movie, And I'm like, if this was America, like they would be like a line of RVs, like an hour deep, just to get into this place. You couldn't even move if this was the United States. And here you are, like on an e-bike in the middle of the Alps, just like looking around, like like I'm allowed to just be out here pedaling around. There's no humans anywhere.
Yeah.
That was pretty rad. Like,
Mhm.
and then you can stop and like have a beer at like any random place. 'Cause
Mhm.
of course they serve beer at a random place on the side of a bike path. It's
They
so
do.
strange.
Yeah. But I have to say, I was blown away when I was in the US by the places you could go with your car.
Yeah.
Because me and my teammate Coulter were going in his Bronco.
Mhm.
We were driving up mountains that I would have never thought that you could do that. You know, we
Yeah.
go up to, I don't know, 4,000 meters almost.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Correct? Yeah, 4,000 meters. And you'd never be allowed to do anything like that in Europe
No.
or where I live because it's just so much smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
United States is just like a big car. Obviously, it's just a big car country. Everybody has a car. A lot of people have 2 cars.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so like ideally you'd want everything that you do to be accessible by your vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
which is kind of funny.
Yeah. The yeah, I don't you probably haven't been here long enough to see this car climb Mount Washington sticker, but people
Like a bumper sticker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Mount Washington is the highest point on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can literally you can drive up to the top, and it's like a road. I mean, it's not like no accomplishment. You just have to go and drive up
They
it.
have these goofy ass bumper stickers that say this car climbed
Mount
Mount
Washington.
Washington, and they're way too popular.
And you're like, it looks like, wow, like
It's like, oh, you drove up a road?
Yeah.
But it's on the east, so it's not like 4,000 meters or
Mhm.
whatever you were just talking about. It's like,
it's still a good sized mountain, but like it's funny because forever, as a little kid, seeing those stickers, being like, oh man, like
holy
that
shit.
guy's a badass, you know. And then as you get older and you realize what that means, you're like, you just drive to the top and buy a bumper sticker and drive back down.
That's funny.
So growing up in obviously one of the coolest places to grow up for skiing.
I think that's the coolest place you
it's
can grow
gotta
up
be.
for skiing.
Absolutely. I mean, because what's the population of Austria? Like 8 million, 9
8
million?
million, I think, or
So-
9.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
isn't some crazy statistic that like 70% or 80% of the people are skiers? Something like
Maybe.
that?
Yeah.
Like some like 8-9 million people, but like 7
Yeah.
million people ski.
Yeah.
Like
That's a
that's
ton of skiers.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know what it is, but what's the U.S.?
For skiers,
Yeah.
I have no idea, but it's not. It's nowhere near that.
Well, yeah. I mean, but
But
like, the
we
US
have a
is
bunch of half of our population lives in places you can't ski.
Yeah, I guess my point is that
More
we're
than that.
330 million people, and obviously and then for you, the whole country pretty much are skiers, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Which
Yeah.
is awesome. So I'm assuming as ski racing and obviously European football being popular, you got into ski racing first, correct?
Yeah.
And how does that work? You basically are like your parents put you into the race program,
Pretty
go,
much.
yeah.
Yeah. And then you start training.
start training. How old were you when you started training?
Like 2 years old or something
Okay.
like that. Like I can't even remember when I started skiing. And yeah, I was racing for close to 10 years maybe. And then at some point I got tired of it and started free skiing.
yeah.
Okay. Did
Started
look
doing
back.
some cool shit. Hitting jumps
Did you
and
have
stuff.
like was there anyone kind of like pushing you to go free skiing or pushing you to go racing? Because I feel like you have to have some kind of influence to do one or the other.
Yeah, maybe not pushing because it was just a normal thing to be racing. But then my brother Cree would be free skiing already.
There you go.
And I always wanted to do what he was
Yeah,
doing. You know,
totally.
it looked so cool. So I had to get into it and yeah, super stoked.
Super stoked. So you saw your brother and essentially you're like, I don't want to do this race shit anymore.
Exactly.
I want to go jump off some stuff.
He put me on.
What was the first pair of free skis that you owned?
Volkl Expression.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
With a crazy red, gray top sheet with some stone face and a yellow base.
Okay.
Weird shape. The twin tip
Yeah.
was sick. I still got those skis in my basement.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Nice. Hold on to those.
I will.
Um,
Sure.
So that set you kind of on the vocal path, or was it just like I just had those and then it just one thing led to another and
Pretty much. I
yeah.
don't know, yeah.
so how did that start with Volkl? Your partnership with them?
That started some 10 years ago,
Okay.
I think. But my first ski sponsor that I would have was Blizzard skis.
Okay.
And then I was on Corrupt skis. And then in 2012 or something like that, I got on Volkl. And yeah.
So what were you skiing on, like answers, bodacious's? What were they giving you for Blizzard?
Yeah, Blizzard was answers.
The answer, yeah.
Because they would only do a handful of free skis, like not.
Yeah, they didn't have
slam
a
and
huge
stuff.
collection at the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of tough.
Cool. Yeah, I remember that ski. We were just talking about that in another podcast, but that ski was cool. That name, the name is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't brought that name back.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could do answer. I've said this so many times. I'm gonna say it until they do it. You can do like answer 99, answer 109. Like make a family out of it. But
That's a sick name for a ski.
yeah, it's awesome.
Dude, I'm still just gassed up on that movie last night. Your segment was dope.
Thank you.
That was a good time. The premiere was sick.
Was it?
Yeah, they packed it out. We went to the after party in the foundation room. Only criticism is the DJ wasn't as good as last year. That's the only thing I would change. But it was still a good vibe.
Yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it.
I wanted to go, but I couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
My wife is traveling for work, so I have some childcare duties. You know, those pesky kids stuck in home. So,
But
6 and 2.
your segment was dope.
Thank you.
The heli-skiing in BC. Where was that?
That was in Blue River at Mike Wiggly's.
Hell yeah. Dope.
Sick. Is that your first experience around a helicopter?
Not the first. I mean, the first proper experience, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had like one drop before, somewhere in Europe, and yeah, first time proper. So yeah, wow,
'Cause
unbelievable how sick it was.
It's heli skiing is insane.
Best.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because it's not necessarily like a thing, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. In Europe, right? It's not as popular, no?
No, not as much.
Yeah.
They do it in some places, but not really. Seems like lots of the Austrians that are into heli skiing go to Canada and start their operation. That's how Wiggly did it back in the days, I think.
Got it.
Yeah.
He was from Austria.
Well, because also too, like your lift service stuff is pretty gnarly in Europe, right? There's a lot of there's lifts that go like way beyond where they do in North America.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Yeah. It was dope how they showed like the retro shots from back in the day to kind of complement every segment. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, the movie was sick. Dope soundtrack.
I'm still thinking about the helicopter because like your face lit up when you said it, because it literally is like one of the coolest things that you can do skiing. Like, and it's like obviously such a privilege to say that you have done it, but like even like my experience with it too, I felt the exact same way. Where you literally are just like you can't believe you're even doing it.
Yeah.
You know, you're like getting out of a helicopter and it like
so
takes off, and
exciting.
you're just like sitting there. You're like, what the fuck are we doing? Like this is crazy.
And everything is so quick, you know, like you're sitting there, you look up on some peak, and then next thing you know, you're up there already, ready to go. And wow, it was crazy to see how far you could go. Because back home we would tour a lot and hike. I mean, we used the lifts, but then you would use the lift and then combine it with hiking and all that and everything. I don't know, it takes a lot of time to get to, it seems like. And with the heli, you're just right there.
Well, yeah, but time and energy, you know, and energy too.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, we have to plan our day. Like, this is where we're going to ski, this is where we're going to go. And like what it takes to do that. And then someone shows up with a machine that flies in the air and you're like, yeah, we can do this 10 times. It's crazy. It's crazy. The helipod that we had last time I went was pretty badass. It was like a Russian dude. And so like every time he would drop us, he would like do like a loop. And like he would like, you know, he's like, hey, I'll you guys can get a photo. So he would drop us somewhere and then he would loop back across like right over us so we could like see him come right over the top, you know, and you're like, and he just dipped back down to where you're supposed to ski. I feel like I was like in a James Bond movie, you know? I was like, dude, we're gonna go fucking kill some people right now. This is sick.
Well, where were you?
In Pacific Northwest. The operation is called, North Cascade Heli. Right? Am I getting that right? North
that
Cascade
sounds
Heli?
right.
Yeah. The place was sweet. It's like about 6-ish hour drive outside Seattle. In the middle of freaking nowhere. It's a place called Mazama, Washington. And the last time that we went, it was pretty cool because it was the end of their season. So we were the last group, and K2 actually sponsors the outfit. So we were there with the K2 guys. So like there was no one else, there's no randos. It was just Ski Monster and the K2 crew and a helicopter. So it was like Bluebird Day, no other people. We had it to ourselves. It was kind of one of those like magical ski moments where you're like, how is this my life? You know, this is wild, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So is this your first TGR movie?
Yeah.
And how was that? Like, what's the experience like filming with TGR? How does that go?
It was such a sick experience, and it was also so spontaneous the way it happened, because I went to Canada only because we had such a bad winter last year in Europe. So yeah, I went to Whistler to see my friend ABM. Shout out, he's the man. He let me crash at his spot, and we were just sledding and touring a bunch, and then I randomly got the email that they wanted of TGR asking me if I wanted to go on a heli trip with them.
Yeah.
And I was pretty blown
Like,
away.
let me
by
check
that.
my schedule.
So you just
No
look at a
way,
random
you
email
know?
me like, do you want to come heli skiing with TGR? You're like, is this real?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, there's no way. And it was like, it's in 2 days. So it was super out of the blue.
2 days
and
notice. That's it.
Yeah, 2 days notice.
Damn.
And
And you guys had a pretty strong crew out there, man.
yeah, got to ski with McNutt and Alex Armstrong.
Yeah, they're both dope.
Yeah.
Dude, and yeah, your skiing was so dialed in that segment, man. I also just wanted to say, like, dude, I love when someone like yourself, you watch them ski and you can tell that like your park background kind of translates really well into those backcountry hits. Like, dude, it's just like crazy watching you ski and just like you'll do like a switch 5, like you're in the park on like fucking in the middle of a huge line. That got me so hyped, man. I like don't watch ski movies as much as I used to anymore, but it's just like in that environment, you just get reminded. The music's so loud, like it's just.
Yeah, usually,
Again,
wasn't there, but I have been in the past, and usually that place gets pretty. It gets pretty full. It gets pretty hyped during the movie.
Yeah.
Compared to other venues that I've been to, but I mean, I'm not sure if it was last night or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Was it nice?
Such a sick venue.
It is.
Wow.
And people usually bring good energy there. It's usually loud. People are always usually hooting and hollering at that. I mean, the House of Blues is sick. It's a sick
For
place
sure.
to have a.
And it's dope they have it. I mean, so House of Blues is a it's a pretty big concert venue. So like some big acts, like pretty big names come through there. And it's just like it's kind of a staple of Boston. So it's really cool to see like such a significant location be intertwined with ski culture. It reminds you that like there's a lot of hype around skiing around here, and just like I mean, seeing the amount of people there and then just like the reaction and how excited people are there gets me hyped. But let's go back to your skiing. What was your favorite shot from your segment?
My favorite shot, the segment, was maybe the big 3.
Big 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I was super stoked on that. And this line by the end, you know, it has another 3 in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty stoked on this one too. And yeah, just blown away in general that I got put on this trip.
Yeah. Did anything?
Movie, and now I'm here in Boston talking to you
That's so
guys.
funny, dude. I mean, so your first time doing it though, I mean, was it what you expected? Like when you got there, when they're like, "Hey, this is what we're expecting you guys to do. We're gonna ski this," or was it something completely different than you imagined, like during your time filming?
No, I just remember that I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Yeah,
in a way, you know, because I really didn't want to blow it. I was like, I need to deliver, you know, like I don't want to get put on this amazing trip and then end up not getting any shots, you know. So I was pretty nervous.
Which is always the fear, right?
Yeah,
because
happens.
It happens. Yeah,
couple bad days in a row and you don't get a shot. That happens from time to time, you know. And luckily, that wasn't the case. And yeah, it was just insane because we had such luck with the weather too.
Yeah,
4 sunny days in a row.
it's awesome.
It's
unheard of. Yeah, unheard of. Especially when you're trying to get shots.
Yeah.
Usually it's the opposite, and then you leave and it's sunny. You know, you're like, God damn. Look.
So your first time in a helicopter, I mean, first time heli skiing.
Proper.
Obviously.
Proper.
Prop, pun intended. That's a
I got it.
helicopter
Yeah,
pun.
Yeah. Garrett's a comedian.
Well,
literally.
as you can see. No, I'm
He
kidding.
does seriously. He does stand up like in the city like 4
Oh,
nights a week.
no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, no, for real.
It's
Yeah,
true.
no, yeah. He's not
true.
wow.
But
threw him off.
yeah, you threw me off. So what was the biggest? What was the biggest surprise? Like while you're shooting this segment, because like obviously that's first time properly heli skiing, and then like you also have to film a segment, so like you have to ski well, and there's a lot of pressure there. Was anything a big surprise to you while shooting?
No, the biggest surprise to me was how much we could sleep in.
Okay.
Like you
Yeah.
could sleep in, because I don't know, when we were sledding, we would get up at, I don't know, 4:30 just to be at the trailhead by the time.
Yeah.
And then it's just such long days. With the heli, you have breakfast at 8 and then get picked up by 8:30 or something. And then boom, you're already there. And yeah.
Oh yeah, just from the amount of time that you're actually. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, we don't have to boogie early because we're going to be there in 10 seconds.
We have a helicopter to
We have a
take
helicopter
us there.
outside.
Uh,
That's true. Yeah, I guess I didn't really. Yeah, because usually if you wanted to get something into your ski touring or you're using another snowmobile, like it's a long morning.
Mm-hmm.
So getting after it early makes sense.
Yeah.
That's rad. Was that you said you were using sleds with your buddy? Was that something that's new to you as well?
Yeah, totally new.
It's kind of crazy, right?
It is super crazy.
Those guys are fucking nuts. Like every time I don't own a sled, and every time like we go and you hop on someone else's, like I'm like I get nervous, dude. Like they're ripping, and you're like holding on. I'm like, this is insane.
It's so crazy, and even like for me, 60 kilometers an hour. I don't know what's that in miles, but it feels so fast for me.
Oh,
it feels
so
way
fast,
too fast.
I'm hauling,
Yeah.
and the boys are like,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm with you. And if you're not driving and you're like, hey, we're gonna go up here, we'll drop you off, and you're like this, and they're like, wah, wah, and you're like, gee, you're in your boots. You're like, dude, if I fall, like, what the fuck, dude? It's scary. It's really scary.
And I only got a little bit of riding by myself but most of the time would be doubling. Like when you're on the side.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're on the side, and you're like, you're gripped.
It's so intense. It's crazy. You really, I don't know, need a lot of power, I would say. And then sometimes we'd be towing. Towing is even crazier. The other day I got towed like 20 kilometers, and when we started touring, my arms were like, I could barely get them back down, because it was so
20 kilometers?
That's crazy.
But behind the sled?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
It's insane, dude.
Snowballs,
yeah, you're like, that's crazy.
Crazy, man. Such.
It's a good time. But I mean, those guys that do it all the time, and obviously they're way more comfortable on the machine than I am. But like, I think we're saying the same thing here. Like when I get on it and you as well, the machines are so overpowered.
Yeah.
For what you're just trying to do. You're like, does this thing really have to be this fucking crazy?
How is this not the turbo?
Yeah. Like this is insane.
This is insane.
Yeah, and someone always like, oh yeah. Like, well, wait, there's way bigger ones. You're like, why? Why would you need that? Like I can barely hold on to this thing.
Exactly,
like you hit it and it's like, you're like, why would you need a bigger sled? It's insane. But I guess it's like anything, like boats or whatever. They're always going to build something that's bigger and badder, so you get it. But I have a four-wheeler, and I have like a middle of the road one, and similar to you, I get it up to like 25 miles an hour, like in the woods, 20 miles an hour, and you're like, this is already insanely like this is too fast. And then I have like they make like 4 tiers above mine. You're like, why would you need such a bigger machine? Like you're gonna die.
More power.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Real quick, what's it like? What's it like skiing with ABM? He's one of the dopest skiers in the world, right? Insane.
Yeah, he is. It's so sick to be skiing with ABM, and I love how motivated he is. To get shots is insane. Like every day in the morning, today we do this.
Yeah,
and he's always pumped to go out and just great guy to be around. And
Hell yeah, so stoked.
yeah.
Also, talk about someone who does everything, right?
Yeah.
Skis park,
Yeah.
backcountry,
Such an
urban,
all-rounder.
everything. Sick, man. Dude, we gotta talk about that. I like saw clips when it happened, but I didn't really make the connection until I saw your highlight on your Insta story. The jump, dude. The
the jump that you were
Rich's-
showing me.
Rich's roll.
Rich's roll,
Yeah.
dude.
He
Yeah,
showed me that
heavy.
yesterday, and I was like,
That
that
is
is insane.
Insane, dude. One of the coolest jumps I've ever seen.
Thank
If
you.
you're listening, go to Tom's Instagram right now and look at his first story highlight just to see some of the
So
most insane
how
skiing you've ever
long did that take?
About 40 hours of shoveling,
seen. Oh,
like pure shovel time. And it also takes some time to get to the spot and get back from the spot. Also took some time, but yeah, pure shoveling maybe 40 hours.
Wow.
did you guinea
Like that.
pig that?
Yeah.
That's proper, right?
Yeah.
It's named after you.
Yeah.
How is that?
It's just the spot that is at my home, close to my home resort, Kitzsteinhorn. And I don't know, I was skiing past this spot a couple of times and always looked at it and always thought it would be so sick to one day maybe build something on it. And yeah,
How long
we
ago
ended
was
up doing.
that? Like, how long ago did you start scoping out this spot?
Wow, years ago.
That's so
Yeah.
sick, man.
Been skiing past it so many times, but it's not so easy to access, and everything needs to line up with conditions and safety, of course. So yeah, stoked that we
Yeah.
made it happen.
So how'd the first hit go? Success? Just
Yeah,
clean?
success.
Nothing?
Clearing, but I didn't go really big. So yeah, needed more speed.
Yeah. And so was everybody already there once you had it built, or like did you hit it and you were like, all right, I got to get all these sick athletes here?
No, they were planned to be there.
Yeah.
All got in quite late, I would say. So we were building it, or some of the crew would be there already and built the jump. And yeah, they came in later.
Yeah. That dub 12 you did over that, how does it feel to do one of the sickest things I've ever seen on skis? Like that was insane, man.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff you guys are throwing off that thing where it was
So how far off the beaten path is it? Like, I mean, is it kind of hidden in plain sight, or do you have to actually seek out where that jump was built?
No, you have to know where to go. You can't just you can't see it from the lift either.
Got it.
So yeah.
Interesting. Because I mean,
Hidden.
the reason why I asked that question is because it looks so massive
Yeah.
that, like, how could that just be like somewhere random? You know what I mean? It looks like something that you would see and be like, holy shit, that's obviously like a big air or a big something that you could build a jump off of. Because the clearing, I mean, anyways, on social, it looks like it's a big, humongous area.
Yeah.
how big's that gap, you think?
I don't know, maybe wasn't too big of a gap.
I feel like it was more poppy.
Yeah.
You get it sends you up in the air, and like
Yeah.
obviously the fact there are rocks involved make
Yeah.
it sick, and just the shape of the jump. It
Yeah.
was like so.
And also the transition from the in run
Yeah,
onto
yeah.
the jump was insane. We had to make this catwalk that was like shoulder high
Yeah,
just to get the in run.
make it a little more
I-
mellow.
Yeah, because otherwise you just
The compress.
G out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That is crazy. Well, yeah. I mean, really, really sick looking jump. Was it drone footage? Was there a drone?
Drones and normal cameras and yeah, Lex of Steel production.
Okay, so I was gonna say, who was that? Like supported by, sponsored by?
Yeah, my sponsors Volkl and Kitzsteinhorn and Marka chimed in for this one and made it happen. And yeah, Lex of Steel is just crushing it with
Absolutely, as
production
they
stuff.
have been for the last 15, 20 years,
Yeah.
right? Like, or maybe not that long, but
10 years at least.
yeah, they I'm stoked to see they're still around. Are they still doing an annual film?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, they always do projects, and it's just sometimes these projects take longer, and then they would do stuff with like one rider or with the whole team. And yeah, they're still doing it. And
Yeah.
we also have something planned for next year. So
Let's go.
for that.
We'll keep an eye out for that.
Sweet. So what's next year look like for you? You're going back after this, and then what's your schedule like? Are you filming with TGR again? Do you have other projects lined up? What's going on?
So after I go back, I will ski my home resort Kitzsteinhorn a lot, and then I have to make some plans where to go. But it always depends on where the snow is. And yeah, I was thinking of maybe going to Jackson pretty
Yeah.
early in the season.
Have you been
Okay.
to ski?
Not to ski, only for
Dude.
the premiere.
You
So
gotta.
I definitely want to see it with snow and ski with those guys. And yeah, get some filming in with TGR.
Yeah.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you've never skied there, dude, you gotta go.
Yeah,
You gotta go.
yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Ryan, was he in the movie?
I don't know if he was. I don't know. Was Jimmy Ryan in the movie this year? This is
Not
like
sure.
lack of preparation. I was.
No, it's
like,
it's all. I didn't
all
see the
over
movie,
the
so I'm
place
asking.
last night,
Anyways, because he's
but,
been on our podcast. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
He skis for Volkl,
Nice.
and he's out of Jackson Hole, so
He's-
which is why I asked.
He's a charger.
Yeah, he rips. We
Mhm.
skied last year when we were, because obviously he lives there. Last year we took a couple laps with him when we were there for Freeskier for the magazine test,
Nice.
and it was obviously fun ripping around with him on the resort. He's a sicko.
Yeah.
But the reason I asked that is because he lives there, and so if he has filmed with TJR in the past. I haven't seen the movie this year, but be a good person to link up with for sure. I'm not sure if you know him.
When you go home, are you when you're at your home resort, are you mostly like, what are you skiing? Skiing park, going into the backcountry?
It depends on the day.
Because I know your home park is sick.
Yeah, the
Based off
park
the
is sick.
Insta clips.
And also the free riding is pretty good too.
Yeah.
And yeah, if it's good snow in the backcountry, I will ski power all day, and then sometimes I would also free ride in the morning and then swap to my park skis and go ski some park.
That's the dream
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, I mean, I was there, but it was June, so it was like
Mm-hmm.
very limited, obviously, where you could go.
Yeah, you should come in winter.
I know. I'm trying to think of like the parking lot. Obviously, you're gonna know exactly where it is if I can figure this out. But like with the parking lot where we parked, there's obviously other ways to get up there, but a lot of the terrain under the lift looked like it could potentially be skiable. But obviously, when I was there, it was all
Mm-hmm.
melted. It was in June, because we basically took a lift up and then got to like kind of like a center zone,
Mm-hmm.
which was like like ski shop, like
Big lodge.
big lodge, yeah.
Alpine
then
Center is what they call it.
That's yeah. And then we took another lift up,
Yeah.
and then skied off that. But when we got up to Alpine, even the Alpine Center, like there was no snow.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think where like I'm not gonna.
The
be able to
park
think
is a
of
little above Alpine Center.
it. Okay.
So yeah, but in summer it looks like you wouldn't even be able to.
Doesn't even
ski
look like
down that.
exactly
Yeah,
because
it
when
looks
we
like
first
it's
got there,
just
like
cliffs.
same thing what I said earlier. I'm like, where like there's no snow here,
Yeah.
because even when you get to that center point where you obviously you could tell it's a ski resort,
Mhm.
there's still nothing there, and you have
Yeah.
to just keep going up, which was cool, which made it seem insanely vast,
Mhm.
all things considered, because you're like, if this is all skiable in the winter, like holy shit,
Yeah.
because even where we got to is still like a massive area,
Yeah.
in the middle of June,
Yeah.
which is kind of rad,
Yeah.
really rad.
And
So
it's got so many options on the side too, where you can ski into the valley and all that. So
Right.
it's amazing.
Yeah, the underneath that lift had to be skiable. I mean, it had to be. Obviously, there's going to be some points where you're like, well, that's pretty gnarly, but I can't imagine people like by it not being a skiable situation. And do you live like in that town currently? Is that where you live?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or maybe the next town over. So Niedensil.
Okay,
Niedensil is my hometown.
got it.
Best.
It's the best. It is the best. In terms of like ski resorts in Austria, like where does Kitzsteinhorn fall in terms of like size? Is it pretty average, or is it bigger than most?
It's bigger than most, I would say.
Okay.
And definitely one of the best resorts in Austria.
Okay.
Best in my opinion.
That's awesome. I'm glad you said that. It's the only one I've been to in Austria, so
Mhm.
it's my only bar for excellence, I guess, would be Kitzsteinhorn,
Yeah.
which is cool. Well, we've stopped and like in our Austria travels and like stopped near ski resorts, and but I've never. The only one I skied was there
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah. Well, you got to make some plans then to come to Jackson, because if you've never skied it, and you have kind of like it sounds like your schedule right now for the winters, it's fairly open. You should definitely mark Jackson down.
Gotta go.
What's cool, what's really cool, even like for your average skier like myself, what's cool about it is that the backcountry access is so accessible.
Yeah.
It's right there.
It's right there.
It's like right there, you know? So like a lot of times, even if you're experienced, like it can be a little bit intimidating, you know, like where am I supposed to go? I don't really know where I am. I have to be with someone that knows where they're going. Obviously you have all your gear, right? But it still feels, even as a seasoned skier, right? It still feels intimidating. Like you're hesitant. At Jackson, which is all the gates are marked, you know? And like if you do a couple laps once, you're like, oh, I know where we are. I know how to get back. And so you can ski the backcountry so easily as an average skier, as long as you know where you're going there. It makes it super fun, because then you're back to the lift, which is like pretty rare in a lot of ski resorts. If you have to like hike back, skin back, get a ride back. Where Jackson, if you do it right, most of the time you're back on the resort, which is super sick. So you're like, wow, we're out here. And then, you know, at the end of the lap, you're like on a groomer, you know? You're like, oh shit, how do we get back here, you know?
Dude, I'm getting pumped to go to Jackson.
It's pretty sweet. So even for him, like we give him crap for breaking his ankle, but
as I deserve, dude.
He did, we were not on the resort. Like we were out there, and he skied all the way back on one ski.
Wow.
Dude, Kai breaking his legs out there made mine look like a walk in the park.
Wait, what happened?
Kai Jones was similar. He was skiing off the tram at Jackson, and broke both his legs. And obviously you can't ski out on.
Super gnarly crash.
Oh,
so
he's
gnarly.
recovering right now. And
oh my
he's looking pretty strong already. And
that's good. That's crazy.
Which is awesome, man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a terrible injury, but thank God it wasn't worse, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, his injury, first of all, he had 2 broken bones and legs. Mine was just a broken ankle, but kind of reminded me of the same thing. It's like we were out in the backcountry, pretty far off the resort. I jumped off something stupid. It looked stupid. I don't want to talk about it.
But here we are.
And I was just like, oh, dude, that is not
But
good.
to his credit, like, you know, I was obviously, you're always nervous when someone injures themselves, you know, like and you put yourself in a pretty tough spot, especially when you're out skiing, right? And I'm like, man, like, I don't know how we're going to get him back, you know? And Garrett skied the whole way on one ski. We were not close.
Oh.
And it was pretty, like, I was impressed. And I was like, dude. Warrior. Yeah, it was wild.
Well, like, I just like was running through all the options in my head, and I'm like, all right, I'm definitely not. They're not sending a heli out here for this. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna get ski patrol out here. I don't know how we're gonna get a sled out here. I just in my head, I was like, the vision of a heli coming out was in my head, and I was like, well, that'll be about $75,000. So I'm skiing.
Regardless, it was impressive. So we just won't do that this year. Well, I was just telling him. I know you were distracted with somehow with the camera, but I was telling him the cool thing about Jackson, because he's going to go this year, obviously.
Yeah,
it's really accessible.
Very
it's
accessible, very gnarly. Like the amount of stuff we came across that was just like, you know, it's a short traverse away from the top of the tram. That was like, it looked like nobody had been there, and.
Or you just hike, or you get to a spot and you're like,
it's like
a 20-minute hike, like not even, and then you're like, no one's even skied here in like X amount of days, you know, and it's literally, you can just go from the resort, you know, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Jackson's vibe's pretty unmatched.
The town is sweet too. Where was the premiere there?
It was just in the cinema.
Okay.
Like in Teton Village.
Okay. Yeah. I know where that is. I wasn't sure if they like rented out like a venue space or whatever. So they just did it like in that old cinema.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
That's a good spot.
The reason I bring it up is because I'm not sure how much time you guys were there, if it was just in and out, but the obviously the town of Jackson is a lot of fun. it's just pretty sweet. There's a bunch of like awesome restaurants, and then funny old like Western bars and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Felt like the Wild West.
It does, right?
Yeah.
It does feel like the Wild West. Still, it still feels that way. I've that $1 million cowboy bar. That's everyone goes there when you go to Jackson. So like that's like our first stop. We go because we go to Freeski every year. So like we go, we land, we get a coffee, and then we go to the cowboy bar like immediately. It's like our tradition at this point.
Gas 12 beers in an hour.
Yeah, then go to our hotel. All the bar seats are saddles. I don't know if I'm assuming you guys didn't go in there.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so along the bar, it's all like you sit on a saddle.
It's sick.
Yeah.
It's one of the
It's super
coolest bars I've
uncomfortable, but
ever
you're
been
like,
to.
You're kind of like, you're like, all right, I'll take a Miller Lite.
Let's go.
I'm an American.
It feels very interesting, but it's one of the coolest bars I've ever been to. But yeah, Jackson's sweet.
And I know Kitchen is your resort. Covered that immensely. But when you are in Europe, is there any other place that you like to go? Do you ski France, Italy? Do you bounce around, or you pretty much just stay in Austria?
Bouncing around.
Yeah.
Because it's sometimes it's nice to just follow the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is kind of close because it's so small. So we would sometimes drive to Italy, Switzerland, France, or ski some other places in Austria. Arlberg, pretty good too.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We on that same trip where we were in Mittersill, we drove south to go to the headquarters for the Technica group, and we did the drive basically from Austria down to Italy, and we drove through the Dolomites.
Yeah.
I mean, insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Like, I mean, the mountain range is just like, it's hard to describe when you're like driving through it. And in the summertime, in like Bluebird Day, it was really wild. And then we drove through Cortina, which it's summer, so we didn't ski, but like that from like a resort standpoint, that felt very like pretty badass. Like it was very like Western resort style town, like with the ski area, with the mountains, like that place looked sweet. And then when we're there, they're like, oh, the Olympics are going to be here. I'm like, this is perfect. Yeah. This is like a perfect place to have that. Yeah. Or it's felt like that anyways. I mean, just from a picturesque standpoint, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. But unfortunately, I didn't get to ski. We just kind of drove through. But the Dolomites were rad, for sure. For sure. Got anything else, Garrett?
I want to ask you about I don't even know if it still happens, but you've been to Audi 9s a few times, right?
Yeah.
How's that event? What's the got any good stories or
it's such a sick event.
Yeah.
They always have the most insane features and obstacles, and
where does that take place?
It's always in a different location.
Okay.
They basically build a castle and then build like jumps and like insane jumps and hips and rails and
then back in the days it used to be 9 nights.
Yeah.
Then they changed it to 9s.
Okay.
Now it's Swatch 9s, I think.
Got it.
Oh, I thought it was Audi, but I think they did a loop one year.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
I was there for the loop.
Did you do the
loop?
loop?
It was gnarly, man. It was crazy.
It never. I will say I've seen a few ski loops in the day. I can't remember one of those old ski movies, old MSP or Poor Boys movies had a loop, I think. And then the Audi one.
It was crazy.
It never looks as smooth as you think.
Can you show it to me? Can you bring it? Like, what does it look like?
I can pull it up.
Pull it up real quick. I want to see it.
All right.
Like what? So like a full
Crazy.
like you ski
like snow looping, and skiing it forwards would be crazy already. And then but it is switch. That's so sick, man. Wow.
And does it go to anything, or you just complete it?
You complete it. You just loop and then keep going. Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
This it?
And to do this backwards is unbelievable.
Jesus.
Wow.
That is insane. That's insane. Hold on. Show me. I need to see someone else do it. That doesn't compute in my head. Double ad, dude? All right, let's see this. Okay. Well, we don't have to go for 8 minutes. I just want to, let's go to, oh. Where's the loop, dude? Right. Let's see it. The clickbait. Okay. That's so psycho.
So, was this the year you were there?
Yeah.
2018?
Yeah.
Nice. Homer Simpson.
Dude,
Whose idea was this?
It was either Nico's or one of the riders. Nico Tacek is always super creative with all
Is he the one
ideas.
who designs the parks?
Yeah, he runs the event,
Okay.
and yeah, sometimes they have riders come up with these crazy ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you just have all these people standing around and watching you guys. Like look
right,
at these psychos. This is not it.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to see the loop, but
Maybe it's by the end.
He's got an outro.
Oh, the drop in.
the drop in.
Crazy.
That is
too.
crazy.
Yeah, it's like hammers.
Oh, are they letting anybody do that?
Just the riders from the
Okay,
event.
I was gonna say because it just looked like a bunch of people standing up there.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, dude!
Yeah.
They should not let people do that.
All right, here we got the loop coming in.
Okay,
I like this, dude. This is the first time we've ever watched a video on the podcast.
let's see this.
All right, so that's just a nice dub time.
Okay,
Loop.
Who's your favorite skier in the game right now?
Tanner Hall.
Tanner Hall? I mean, he's the GOAT, but like what about for like young up and comers?
oh, there it is. I mean, that is so psycho. Here we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is incredible. That is crazy.
Sick.
And you did it?
Yeah.
First shy?
No.
What happened?
Kind of, dude.
I feel like it's all you either get it or you die.
I kept going into the wall to the right.
Okay.
For some reason,
so
you know,
in and
you
then
would catch an edge and then
catch it. Okay.
And then once I got it, I was done with it. I was like, oh,
Done.
it, and
Yeah.
I don't have to do it.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
Kind of sick. You can say you did it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So T Hall is your favorite of all time. Yeah, hell yeah. He's such a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Still,
It's
at
crazy
it.
that he's still doing it, you know,
Yep.
in such a
I mean,
great way too. You know?
Not only at his, I mean, he's like 38, 40 years old or something.
40 now.
He's 40 years old and has dealt with worse injuries than anyone. Dude.
And he's still skiing
And he's
street,
still
you know,
ripping
and
everything.
learning tricks and
Yeah,
doing stuff that no one has done, and that's
right.
fascinating.
You think he's accomplished so much,
Yeah.
but like it's so sick to see him be like, I want to learn a
Yeah.
a switch dub 10.
is he still
like
so
a couple
hungry?
years ago, right? Yeah,
I mean, that era of them at X Games was probably one of the coolest
yeah,
eras in freestyle skiing.
yeah.
You know, when Tanner was at like
Dumont.
the peak of his X Games powers, you know,
Yeah.
watching that on TV, like him and Simon Dumont and all those guys like throwing down in the half pipe and on slope style, like that was must see TV, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You a
America.
fan of pipe skiing?
I watch it.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
it's
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
It's still exciting, but like back in the day, like the Tanner versus Simon
Tanner
thing
or Simon, that
was
was
like
It was awesome.
Man, it
insane.
was
man.
sick.
They were
Awesome.
going back and forth. I would love to see it get to a place like that, which like some of the events, if you really dial in and pay attention, it is intense.
Yeah.
And there are some of the best skiers in the world. They're pipe skiers right now. Alex Ferreira, so good.
Yeah, I know, but like just that time just felt different though. It just felt like there was more eyeballs on it,
for sure.
you know.
For sure.
Everyone had
There
their
was
own
definitely more
Yeah.
excitement.
They had their own pro model Oakley goggles. They had pro model kits. You know, they had pro model boots, and
Mhm.
like then they were then there was a circle of them competing against each other, like on national TV, like X Games. It was like you watched X Games. You know, it was, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just old, but it felt like that at that time. Like it was just,
Yeah.
it
I
was
think
more
Maybe it was
exciting.
because it was more new.
It was new,
Fresh.
yeah, and like it was an exciting thing to
the,
get into, you know.
Exactly.
I think the unfortunate thing for half pipe is the progression. It's not possible for it to go as fast just because it's a little more limited. There's a higher ceiling, you know. You can only do so much. You can get 25.
So risky.
20.
Too.
Right. It's so dangerous, man.
I mean, it's insane. It's literally insane.
Yeah. Respect.
But I love it, man. Like a good pipe run is as sweet as anything on
Mhm.
skis, man. Like good style, good tricks, grabs, all that stuff. But yeah, amplitude as X Games calls it.
Mhm.
Amplitude.
But
Well, sweet, man. I mean, we're over an hour.
yeah,
We try to keep it right at an hour, so it's very listenable. You know,
yeah.
Nice.
so I feel like anything over that, unless you're Joe Rogan, no one's listening. You know what I mean? So at an hour is good. And stoked that you're here. Stoked that you had a good experience in Boston.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I mean, hopefully you can land some more shit next year, so you'll be back again.
Hope so too.
second tour, a second TGR movie tour lap back to Boston. So, and you guys, like you said, you guys are getting on a train today?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty soon.
Very cool. Yeah.
Are you flying out of here? You're staying. You have one more night, right?
Oh yeah, they're going back to New York.
Yeah.
Nice. Sweet.
Do you have you guys hit any good restaurants when you were there last time kicking around? Do you remember? The restaurants in New York are just the best.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones.
Beyond Sushi.
Beyond
we
Sushi,
did.
solid.
So good. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I mean, that city, I mean, it has the best restaurants in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Every time you go there, like you can like pick 3 different places than the time before, and you're like,
Yeah.
this is an incredible experience. The culinary experience in New York City is wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they cater to that. My wife's a vegetarian too, so like same thing. Like you can always find awesome places, which is great. Yeah. Well, you guys hop on a train, head back to New York. Safe travels across the pond.
Thank you.
Stoked you're here,
Yeah.
and thanks for doing
having me.
this.
All right. Word. Thanks.